Most people are using AI completely wrong, and it's costing them hours every week. They ask ChatGPT a question, they get an answer, then they copy it, then they paste it, and they move on. That is not leverage. That's just a faster way to do what you already do, which is cool. But the real power of AI isn't answering questions, it's executing work. Here's the difference. Using AI for answers is like asking someone for directions. You get information, you have to do something with it, and using AI for execution is like hiring someone to drive you there. You see the difference? The work gets done. You move on to what actually matters. And most professionals are still stuck in the first bucket. Think about what happens when you use AI like Google. You spend like 15 minutes prompting, you get output, you spend 30 minutes editing, fact checking it, rewriting the parts that don't work. You spend another 15 minutes integrating it into your actual work, and that's an hour to produce one email, or one blog post, or one analysis. You're still the bottleneck. Now look at execution. A developer runs a Python script that runs every morning. It pulls data from your CRM, it cleans it, it formats it, it uploads it to your reporting dashboard. And that script runs without her. Zero manual work, every single day, forever. Or you set up an API flow. ChatGPT writes 10 product descriptions. They hit your e-commerce backend automatically, live in an hour. No copy and paste, no manual updates. No human in the loop unless something actually breaks. Here's the blind spot. Most people don't think of AI as an employee. They think of it as a search engine. And search engines answer questions. Employees, though, execute work. They follow instructions without you. They do the same task 100 times without getting tired or without making mistakes. And that's what AI can do, but only if you set it up that way. Let me give you 3 concrete examples. First one, content publishing. You can prompt Claude for a blog outline, copy it, edit it, write it, publish it, or you can feed Claude your keyword list, your brand voice document, and your publishing system. You could set up a workflow, one click, 10 blog posts generate, and then they get fact checked, get formatted, go live. You review them in a summary. That is execution. The second example, data processing. You can ask ChatGPT to clean a spreadsheet, download the file, manually import it, or you can point an AI-powered automation at your database. It normalizes customer records, it flags duplicates, it validates fields, it runs every night. Your data stays clean without you even touching it. And that's what happens when you treat AI like an employee and not just a chatbot. Third one, customer support. You can have a person respond to support emails, or you can set up an AI agent that reads incoming tickets. It categorizes them, then generates responses for common issues, and then it flags urgent ones for humans. It learns from feedback. It gets better. Your team handles the exceptions. Everything else runs on its own. That's the difference between using AI and having AI do the work for you. Why do most people stay stuck in the answer phase? Because it feels faster at first. You don't need technical help, and you don't need to think about integration. You just ask and use. But that speed is kind of an illusion. It collapses the moment you need to do it twice, or 10 times, or 100 times. And then suddenly your leverage just disappears. Sure, setting up execution does take effort. You need to think through the workflow. You might need a developer, or you might need to use a no-code tool, but that upfront work is real. Here's what changes. Once it's done, it stays done. A script that takes 2 hours to build but runs every single day for a year, you've saved a couple hundred hours. And that math gets incredibly good, incredibly fast. Here's what most professionals miss. They treat AI as a tool for themselves, a better search engine, a faster way to think through problems. And that's cool, but they don't ask, where can AI do the thinking and the execution without me in the middle? Where can it handle the repetitive work so I can focus on the decisions? And that question changes everything. So start asking different questions. What work do I do over and over? What decisions do I make using the same process every time? What takes hours but doesn't require my judgment? Those are your candidates for AI execution, not the one-off questions, the repetitive, systematic work. That's where the real leverage lives. The second thing most people miss is integration. It's not enough to just generate output. You need to think about where it goes. How does it connect your systems? Who needs to actually see it? And what happens if there's an error? A well-built automation thinks about that stuff. A quick prompt doesn't. You don't have to code to build this. There are no-code platforms like Zapier, Make, and N8N, and they let you wire AI into your workflow using a visual interface. You don't need Python, you don't need an engineering degree, but you do need to think like someone hiring an employee. Clear instructions, defined outcomes, feedback loops, error handling. That's the mindset shift. Here's what happens when you make this shift. You stop spending your time on work. You start spending it on decisions. You stop copying and pasting, and you start rewriting, reviewing, and improving. You build systems that work without you. And that's not about being lazy. That's about being valuable. A person who can set up one process that saves 10 hours a week is worth 10 times more than somebody who's just fast at execution. Most of what you'll read about AI focuses on the fun use cases, the interesting questions, the creative stuff, but your real advantage isn't there. It's in the boring, repetitive work that's already eating into your calendar. And if you want to see what that execution looks like in practice, real examples, real tools, how to avoid the blind spots that other people miss, head over to theAIblindspot.com. We break down exactly how to shift from using AI like a search engine to building AI that works like an employee. I'll see you over there.